Hey there. So, this is going to be just a little chat about Mercury retrograde and how it can be. It happens so often. I actually kind of enjoy it, but it can be wacky, and and that wackiness can lead to some really cool things. And I understand some frustrations as well. Little curveballs tossed up here and there. So I am going to share. Oh, and by the way, I did try to make this video about 5 days ago. Yeah, about that. Oh my gosh, and everything just went wrong. I mean, I had a coughing fit because there were people arguing in the house, and I was trying to drown out the noise with a space heater that made me cough. And I mean, that is so Mercury retrograde, communications being odd and off, and misunderstandings, and just, curveballs. You plan to do one thing and then something else happens. I think the biggest lesson I've learned over a lifetime of Mercury retrogrades, once I recognized them, is that just roll with it. Just roll. If something you're trying to do is not playing out, just move on. Move on to the next. It will all. The beauty, I think, of Mercury retrograde is that truly, sometimes, oftentimes, those delays, those glitches, um, are for a reason, and it's because we might need to just consider a different approach, um, different language, and or I think, especially with regard to communication and language, I think Mercury retrograde offers that opportunity to become aligned, um, because miscommunication, well, is a sign of not being in alignment, okay, in some regard. So I'm going to share with you a really funny, I found it funny, Mercury retrograde story that actually happened recently, um, and I was a participant in this. So Mercury um, officially started its retrograde on November 9th. However, on November 8th, it reached its point, its station point, where it would start its retrograde motion. Okay, and that was about 7 degrees of Sagittarius. Not that that's important in the story. So, on November 8th, I decided I wanted to go to the local grocery, um, though I do have to take a bus to get there. So I went to the bus stop, and I was waiting for the bus. I knew the bus would be coming soon. Something caught my eye, glanced over, and there was a dog that I kept hoping a person would appear, but a person never did appear. The dog was off leash and very close to a highly trafficked street. So I was concerned about the dog, and so I positioned myself and called the dog, and the dog came over. It's a very exuberant dog. It's about, I'm going to say about 45 to 50 pounds. So this is not a small dog. Um, and I managed to make friends with the dog, and I actually noticed that a door to a to a building, they it's kind of a place of worship. They do community outreach, stuff like that. a door to that building was ajar, and it had not been ajar 5 minutes before when I passed by. So I thought, okay, this dog must have come from there. So I send the dog in. I did call out hello inside the building, and no answer. So no one's there. I'm not sure what was going on. I get the door closed, and I actually barricaded the door because somehow, in my thinking at the time, well, the dog must have escaped that building. I did try to do the right thing, and I called and left messages on all of the voicemails connected to that organization. And I even I went home and wrote a quick note and put it on the door so no one would be surprised that there's a dog. Okay, so that was the 8th, which was a Saturday. On the 10th, which was a Monday, and now that by then Mercury had already started its backward motion, I never made it to the store that day. I just did a much more local, quick run to a store that I could get there by foot. All right, so Monday comes, the 10th, and I decide I'm going to go to the store, the other store, the bigger store, again. I'm on the bus stop, and again, the bus is pretty close. It's about to come. I actually have a phone app so I could see that the bus was about to come. And then I felt a nudge, and I turned, and there were 2 dog paws on my shoulders. It was the same dog. And found me again. And well, this time the church door was closed. The dog ran across this really, really busy street into the park across the street and was just doing woo woo laps around. And all right, so I gave up the grocery store again, and I went across the street to the park, and with the help of someone else in the park, I managed to get control of the dog, took the dog home with me, called animal control, which ultimately came and picked up the dog. Now, in where I live, we for shelters, for unless it's a medically dire situation, this is what is termed a no. We don't euthanize in this state unless it's medically necessary. Okay, so yes, so it's a safe option, and I honestly had no other choice. So, all right, so the dog is picked up by animal control, and they told me and she was chipped, so they would try to find the owner, and if they could not do that, then they would take her to a shelter. So I did, the following day, I looked up for any postings of missing dogs, and I saw one, and it was the same dog. So this was on Facebook. I reached out to the person, and I said, I found your dog twice, and she's currently in with animal control at a shelter. I actually had called the animal control to just check out, make sure she was doing okay, and I was told she was at the shelter. So I let this person know. The person messaged me the following morning. She messaged me, and she said, yes, it's not actually my dog. It's not actually my dog. The dog the dog was I'm so sorry. The deacon of my church found the dog in the building on Sunday, and they took it to a shelter. And so I have no idea how the dog left the shelter and got back to, I don't know, to me. Anyway, I am so unsure of what is happening here. So yeah, but I tell this story, and I think I'm not sure exactly the how the end of the dog story plays out. I will try to do some investigating. My thinking is that she was more dog than someone could handle, and she's an escape artist. So I believe she's being listed for adoption, which is probably for the best. She's so sweet. I'm going to make a photo of her, the thumbnail for this video. But I tell this story because, well, my travel plans were certainly disrupted, but I got to meet a really sweet, sweet dog. And, yeah, and I'm glad that I'm so grateful that I had the time available to pursue her and get her to a safe space. I'm really grateful. And so there's the travel thing and Mercury retrograde. There's the whole miscommunication thing, thinking the dog belongs in this church. It doesn't belong in the church. The post on Facebook, I thought this woman was missing the dog. No, she wasn't missing the dog. She had found the dog. I mean, it was just a lot of glitchy back and forth. And it's it's honestly pretty funny. I think of Mercury retrograde, and probably every retrograde, as an opportunity to do some balancing out, equalizing. And I think it's important to do so. Approach it, realize that, okay, things are going to maybe, there might be a few challenges, but I don't think they're going to be bad challenges. They're just glitchy, especially with Mercury. I think it's just glitchy challenges. And to embrace them, to laugh, to just to be in it, think of it as a blessing, because often these glitches point out something that might have become a bigger challenge down the road, if not given the opportunity for correction. The card for Mercury is the Magician. Now, notice this Magician. He has the tools on the table. He is grounding, and he is pulling in energy and wisdom, but his eyes are closed. He is not touching his tools. He is just in pause. And that is, I think that's a good message for Mercury retrograde. It's not that we cease to move, but I think it's a time that just it's not maybe the best time to do a big push forward. It's like riding against the wave, just go with the motion of it all. Doesn't mean not to have goals, but this is more time to in the movement. This is a time for tweaking. And the beauty of Mercury retrograde, it's loud. It will tell you what needs to be tweaked. The video, I actually made the video, but it was so full of glitches, Mercury retrograde, and coughing, and I just scrubbed it. I scrubbed it. I did pull an oracle card for it, and I wanted to show it to you because it's deep freeze. Now, I'm not paying so much attention to the name connected with the card, but what I was thinking of, and this is 2608. So you notice the lion is. I was thinking of the strength card, and in this card, the lion is not in action mode, and so there is no. And you notice, in the strength card there is a figure soothing and taming the lion in the most gentle sense, of course. And but there's no need for that person to be in this picture because the lion is in repose. So in Mercury retrograde, I think it's fair to say, don't expect a lot of forward movement necessarily, but enjoy the process of it. Enjoy those tweaking moments. I think I will probably leave it. Actually, I'm going to do, since this is a different different video, I'll do one more of these cards just to see if there's an additional message. And then I'll leave it there and make it a short one. We have entered the the final decan of Scorpio, and I intend to make a video very shortly about that. Okay, so, but this is for Mercury retrograde. Any additional information, guidance that we might need. There might not be anything else. We'll do maybe 3 or 4 more. One just dropped. All right, let's see. Oh, 2. Okay. Okay, I have Talisman. And you notice how she is, actually really think of the Hermit card a lot with this, holding the light, but staying, she is in position. I just noticed this. It's a little, looks like it's a little stepping stone, but it is both pointing forward and backward. So this is maybe a pause of seeing the future that she is looking to move toward, but just at a point of not moving yet, of accessing her inner light and wisdom. All right. And we have flying. I kind of like these in conjunction. I think they were meant to be. I use in conjunction, because she is thinking about what she wants to move toward. But there is still a bit of there's a maze of detail that is being sorted through. And that is, I think, what Mercury retrograde can be sometimes. These glitches, these pauses to re-examine, they each little happening frees us to float up, to be free of them, and to take those steps eventually when it is time. Okay, I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. If anyone has a desire for a reading on a certain topic, I'd be really open to doing that. So, just putting it out there. Blessings for this Mercury retrograde, and sweet dreams, sweet now, sweet tomorrow.